Have you ever wondered about the scientists who lived before science even had a name? Long ago, in an age of forgotten kingdoms, there was a man named Arkan. He wasn't a king, a warrior, or a priest. He was a scholar, a man whose mind traveled to the stars even as his feet walked the dusty earth. While others sought power through swords or prayers, Arkan pursued a different kind of truth. He devoted his life to understanding the hidden laws that govern the world around him. He studied the patient work of rivers as they carved canyons, the relentless hunger of a flame, and the silent, cosmic dance of the stars to map the passage of time to the common folk. He was a miracle worker, blessed by the gods. To the rulers, he was a threat, a man who dared to defy them. But Arkan didn't care for their whispers or their accusations. His only loyalty was to knowledge itself in time. He earned a title that didn't even exist yet, the scientist of the ancient world. His creations were revolutionary. He designed wheels that ground grain effortlessly, freeing people from back-breaking labor. He built channels that irrigated barren fields, turning desert into farmland. He even constructed towers that could read the winds and foretell the coming of storms, saving countless lives. With every invention, his community flourished, and prosperity grew. But progress has a way of making the powerful nervous, the kings and lords of. The land watched Arkan with growing suspicion. Why should this one man hold the secrets of nature? They muttered in their halls. That power belongs to us, the rulers of men. Her fear was a shadow that grew longer with every one of Arkan's successes. But he was too consumed by his work to notice their plotting. He was on the verge of his greatest and most dangerous experiment yet. Arkan embarked on a project that would eclipse all his previous achievements. He dreamed of capturing the very essence of creation, of binding the untamed forces of the heavens into a single controllable source. He envisioned a world without darkness, without hunger, without fear, all powered by a hidden, eternal flame. He believed that if he could just harness this fundamental energy, he could uplift all of humanity and usher in a golden age. Night after night, he toiled in his secret workshop, a chamber carved from solid stone, surrounded by strange diagrams and intricate devices. He began to weave the forces of nature together. Strange, ethereal lights danced and twisted above his outstretched hands. The very air in the chamber grew thick and began to tremble, as if the world itself was holding its breath, waiting to see what he would do. Slowly, the energy he summoned began to coalesce. It formed a perfect sphere, a miniature sun pulsing with a life of its own. It was a sight of breathtaking beauty, a raw and primal power contained. As Arkan stared into its swirling, incandescent core, he was filled with a profound sense of awe, but a shiver of dread ran down his spine. He could feel a will within the sphere, a consciousness that was ancient, vast, and not entirely his to command. He had created something magnificent, but he was no longer sure he could control it. News of Arkan's ultimate experiment finally reached the royal courts. The ruler's fear curdled into blind terror. He seeks to become a god, they cried. This man is a heretic, a danger to our entire world. They couldn't understand his pursuit of knowledge. They only saw a challenge to their authority, and so they declared him an enemy of the state. An army of soldiers stormed his workshop in the dead of night, their torches casting flickering, angry shadows on the stone walls. As they burst through the door, the sphere of light, sensing the intrusion, reacted. It erupted with a sound like the world cracking in two, a deafening thunderclap that shook the very foundations of the earth. The light was blinding, and then there was only silence. When the smoke cleared, Arkan was gone. The sphere had vanished. All that remained in the stone chamber was a scorch mark burned epsilon tau alpha iota into the floor, a dark, circular scar where his greatest creation had last pulsed, the king's. Satisfied that the threat was eliminated, erased him from history, his name was chiseled from monuments, his writings burned, his legacy buried. Arkan, the man who had brought so much light to his people, was cast out and condemned to be forgotten. What truly became of him, no one knows for sure. Some legends say he perished in the wilderness, a lonely exile, but other stories whispered around campfires and in the quiet corners of old taverns, tell a different tale. They say he didn't die. They say he managed to take the light with him, carrying his harness flame to a place far beyond the reach of jealous kings and their armies even today. Travelers and explorers speak of a strange, ethereal glow that sometimes appears in the heart of ancient, forgotten ruins. It flickers softly in the darkness, pulsing gently like a distant heartbeat. They say it's the last remnant of Arkan's final creation, a timeless echo of his genius. It serves as an eternal reminder that knowledge is the greatest power of all, a gift that can illuminate the world, but also a peril that can consume its creator. And that is the lost tale of Arkan, the forgotten scientist. The man who tried to lift the world, and in doing so, became a mystery himself. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the past. If you love stories that explore the intersection of history, myth, and science, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more. Let me know in the comments what you think happened to Arkan. Until next time, stay curious.